Senator Maggie Glover, everyone.
She had silver gray hair, and it was always so very neatly combed in place. There were 4 generations of just sheer love in her face. She was so wise. For ladies and gentlemen, this lady had seen it all. When I was a child, about 4 or 5, and all day long I'd ask questions. At night, I'd ask more. But whenever, she never would ever turn me away. I'd say, why are we so poor? That's what I want to know. What's right and wrong? And where is God, and why won't he talk to me? Will I find love? Won't you answer these questions for me before you fall off to sleep? Slowly she rocked, looking half asleep. But then that lady yawned, stretched, and started to speak. And what she told me that day would hold me and mold me together inside. She said, child, all the things you ask, you'll know someday, but you got to learn to live in a more patient way. Because you see, baby, by faith, God put us here. And by faith, there be's better days. And you can get to your better days if you just learn to make it through the night. You hear me, child? Come what may. You just keep holding on to God's unchanging hand, and you will get to your better days. At the turn of spring, heaven sent down angels and indeed gave Grandma her wings. And now that she's gliding and sliding and flying in her better days, I have to admit that even though I'm all grown up now, every time darkness gets in my way, I can still hear that lady say, child, all the things you ask, you'll know someday, but you got to learn to live in a more patient way. For by faith, God put us here. By faith, God put us here. By faith, God put us here. And you can get to your better days if you just learn how to make it through the night. Amen. Those are the lyrics. The lyrics of a song performed by Dinah Reeves. It was such a profound message that I memorized it years ago, having heard it riding along in my car. That's how God sends you things a lot of times. And today, those lyrics are as important right now as they were when she wrote them years ago. But brothers and sisters, as we celebrate diversity and unification together here today, please, please remember what this mother figure to all of us, what her words are to each one of us. And that is that you can make it unfortunately, sisters, it may not be the man you swear you love. It, for young men, may not be that queen. It may not be the president. Let us know for sure it wasn't 45. But we've got to know where our strength comes from. Amen. First of all. And whether or not you believe now, it is the strongest piece of advice that I can give to you or anybody else on the planet, because when everything else drops off or turns their back or act like they don't know you, only one. Only one. He who created you. You didn't just, like Topsy, grow up. You came here with a decided and divine purpose. Because the God who created you don't make no junk. That's right. You are one of a kind. There are billions on this earth, but there's only one you. And when you wake up in the morning and you look in that mirror and you are not you, you are not in love and proud of who's looking back at you, that's your first sign that you need to get to know He who created you. Because see, even in spite of, brothers and sisters, He continues to take care of you. And you pretend you don't even know it. He has never given, not anybody, never ever has He ever treated us the way we treat Him. Never. In spite of every moment with that finger, my grandmama used to say, that finger of love. Whether you said good morning or whether you said good night, said your prayer, got on your knees, just mumbled up, whether you did any of that to acknowledge Him, He will touch you every moment. Thank you. Still in your right mind, able to get up, run to the bathroom, and start your day. He does that. That's what this woman is talking about. When you know the Almighty, you want to talk about Superman, Batman, go to the source who created them. He lovingly is simply waiting for you to understand why He put you here. And everything, every being He has ever made, there is a purpose for your living. A purpose for you through your life to make him shine just by what you do for his other children, your brothers and sisters. Yours. That's what we are talking about here. Diversity, because everybody in here, God has given an internal purpose. Diversity. Some of us are supposed to be business people. Some of us are to be mothers. Some of us are to be great dads, coaches. We all have a purpose. And your living is to find your purpose and fulfill it. And I promise you, when you find, and he doesn't make it hard, when you find out what you are supposed to do, not what somebody told you, or they saw you on the street and said, you look like you ought to be a model. Come over here, bro. I got a little something, man. If you go down there and bring me the right amount of money back, me and you can be partners. No. When you internalize and find out what is my purpose, I promise you, come hell or high water, white people, bigots, dogs, whatever, your own brothers and sisters, nothing will stop you from becoming what he intended for you to be and do. That's God. That's God. And that fact, that ain't just something I came up here and decided to say, because in fact it is not what I was supposed to be talking about. This is not it. But this is what obviously he wanted me to say to you. And you, my good brothers and sisters, if you keep holding on and find your purpose, because see, God doesn't ask you to do things that he didn't create you to do.
That's right.
So whatever he asked you to do, or whatever he created you to do, you can do. And not only just do, you can do it damn well. You are good. You are good at whatever it is he has created you to do. And I want you on my birthday, August 29th, on my birthday, I want you to sit there quietly and say, at least, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to reevaluate this God thing that woman talking about. I'm going to reevaluate this. I promise you, if I should live and you should live, if you do that, I guarantee you, you're going to stop me on the street one day and say, Mr. Man, let me tell you, I heard you and I did what, woo!
Come on now.
I promise you, I guarantee, I stake my life. Because if it don't happen for you, find me and bullet to the head. I can stab you.
Come on.
You do it. That's how convinced. That's how I know the he 360. He will never leave you or forsake you. When your brother says, man, I would, but I've got to go take so-and-so to do so-and-so, and always something. Never, ever will he leave you. And to get a whole nother perspective for you, Snoop Dogg has his latest album is called The Bible of Love. Yes. If you have not heard it, so that you can get, Maggie tells it one way, Snoop tells it another, but we're talking the same identical message. I want you to get Bible of Love. Get it. And it's a 2 CD album, 2 CD, what do you call them, 2 tracks, or 2 CDs? 2 CDs. Try the second one. Start with the second one. The second one tried out every morning since Snoop Dogg put out his album. In my car as we speak. If you turn it on, Snoop Dogg is in your ear. And I have 6 blessing me right now is how I open every morning, every day I get in my car. It's Bible of Love, track 2, track number 6. On the second CD, track number 6. Yes, I begin there, so try him for a different perspective from the way I just told it to you. But I promise you again, you will love it. You will love it. Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg all throughout the album. Yes, but his message is real and true. Enjoy this time. Enjoy this time. Ladies, just before exiting here, I want to share 2 statistical things with you. First of all, here in the city, we're going to just talk about the city of Florence right now. There are, it's actually 38,899 of us who live here. So I'm going to round that off and say 39,000 people in the city. Women make up 52%. 52% of that number. White folk of the 39,000, they are 47.7% of the city population. White folk, 47.7. Black folk are 47.6% of the city population, making us almost one half of the city of Florence. Black. And to show you how that is true, our mayor just spoke here. Look at her council.
Come on now.
Look at the council. City council. For the first time
Yes, indeed. For the first time, our city council is majority.
First time.
And why? Why? Because that's the first time we use our power. If you are one half of any city, one half of anything,
Come on.
that's power. That's power, brothers and sisters. And you got up and went to the polls. Now, let's put a little asterisk,
Come on.
little asterisk right there. Because I got to say this to you too. City council race. We had a runoff in our city council race. One of the candidates is here and present, black female. Other candidate, white Republican male. With all of the power that we have and had at that time in Florence, somehow or another, this mist or something, the Kool-Aid or something, came through our community, and we got paralyzed. I can't explain it. I'll be very honest. I can't explain what happened. I do know that no one else is to blame other than the 50% of this population who are African American, who sat here and allowed a white Republican male who did not even put a sign, not one, in your community. You gave up what your ancestors fought and died. They fought and died here in Florence, trying to make sure we had a single member district so that black, because before the Frank Gilberts and all of these people, Lucas and everybody who worked to make sure we could have representation, they won it. And when the lines were drawn, they drew Florence, a city of Florence that reflected the people who lived here. We have always been nearly half, and so they drew lines so that half of the city's population would also be represented by people who look like us. Somehow or another, that message kind of left us, and we played games and spat in the face of all of those who worked their behinds off, died, but leaving us with our single member districts. We gave it up. Because, what do I mean by that? Not so much that you voted for somebody else. No. You didn't vote at all. In this particular district, Beck Center is one of, well, it's the second largest one. And in our city council race, brothers and sisters, 62 people voted. And they're pretty close to 3,000 registered voters there. 2,500. Let's not exaggerate. 2,500 are there.
Amen. Tell it.
102. Right now, across this nation, what are we fighting for again? Who said it? I thank you, Mr. McWhite. Voting rights. These people are working every day to take away your right to vote. We are going back to the big jar sitting on the table, and they ask you how many marbles in this jar.
Go ahead.
And you say 400, no, and you can't vote because you didn't guess the right numbers. Then you would have somebody sitting there telling you, and some white man sitting or woman sitting here, and you walk up to vote or to register, and they say, could you repeat the Constitution for me, please? The Constitution? But these are facts. I'm not saying this to be funny. This is what they did to us. And Dr. Martin Luther King and all, Fannie Lou Hamer, Mary McLeod Bethune, all of them walked and ran, took beatings. John Lewis. Everybody. Thank you. Yes. They worked their behinds off until they died or was killed, securing the right for you as a black man and woman to vote. And you didn't get it until 1965. And thank you. And 21, you are going to, oh well, they don't count on our stuff no way. I will pop you side your head, boy. Ooh, don't play. Don't play. They're not playing. And you cannot spit in their faces like this. You can't say to Martin in his grave, that's on you, man. No. Not only must you fight, you must instill in somebody else, your brother or sister, your children, your family members. You must instill that fight in them. You tell them you never, ever let them disrespect your history. Never. It is not enough. Black folk gave it up. Didn't even know our names. But they gave it up because they knew we would come. And it crushes me to think that this generation, the single most blessed of all black folk, do y'all know what y'all have? You got more than any generation. And for the gift, for the blessings, you say, what? Huh? And what that got to do with me? No, brothers and sisters, at all cost, any election, nobody should have to poll you. You ought to be lining up. Every black man in your block, it's your job. It's on you, man, to make sure Miss Robinson, you all right? You can get there? Well, I'll make sure. Come on, baby. I'm gonna take you to vote.
Yeah.
That's what the men did. Medgar Evers had been registering all day long, working hard to make sure black folk got the vote. Thank you so much. But they, on his way home, in the driveway, because he was being so successful in registering people, they shot and killed Medgar simply for registering people to vote. And you, as a black man, would allow your brother to go down in defeat because you chose not to recognize who you are and how powerful you are. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure.
Yes.
And I want you to take everything that you have gotten here today and use it. Use it to your benefit and to the benefit of your people. We've got to learn to diversify and unify.
Amen.